Welcome to the Sincerely God podcast. I'm Sarah, and I believe that God is speaking to all of us all the time and in many different ways. For me, the primary way that I listen is through two-way journaling. And in this podcast, I share excerpts from my prior journaling time with God, which are really inspirational messages spoken from the perspective of God to you. I'll share more about what two-way journaling is and explore other methods that might be helpful for you to listen to God in your own unique way. I'm just an ordinary person who gets to hear from an extraordinary God, and I believe you can too. Thanks for joining me. The journaling that I'm sharing today is really just God talking about the uniqueness of our paths, really the uniqueness of our lives. So this is what God was sharing with me. Move along this path I have prepared. I will show you the way. Trust me. Trust all I am telling you. Trust my words and my gifts. Trust me, the giver. Trust that I already have it figured out, and I will tell you and show you everything you need to know. Others will come along your path and share what they know and have received from me. Listen to them and test what they tell you against what I have told you. They will help you, but I am your source. Do not look to others to supply your needs or show you the path on which you should walk. Come to me. Always seek me first and above all else. Trust what I am telling you, even if it does not always match up to what others believe to be best. I prepared a path for each of my children, and I guide them individually, each their own way. Your way is not like the others. Their ways are not like yours. Trust this path. Trust the uniqueness of it, and trust me, the preparer of your path. Go through this day and keep me close in your heart. Be aware of all that is happening within you. Learn to tune into my spirit in new ways. Trust as I show you the way. Trust as I open your awareness to new experiences. Let's walk through this day together, hand in hand and arm in arm. See how I am with you. I am so close to you. I am in you and around you and before you. See my love. See my provision. See my power working in new ways. I will show you a new thing. A new thing is blossoming before you. Enjoy the beauty you see along this journey. So I just love this message about the uniqueness of our prepared paths, really the uniqueness of our life journeys. And first is this idea of there is a prepared path, that we have these journeys, these lives that we walk through. And, it feels like sometimes we face things that were completely unexpected, that there's no way on earth we could have foreseen that this happened. But God exists outside of time. And so even when things maybe are changing, he always sees what's next, and he's able to prepare a way. And maybe that's just leaving resources. Maybe that's, hey, he's going to make a connection with a friend, a new friend, or a new mentor, whatever it may be at a specific stage in your life. Or maybe it's he's going to walk you through a learning or growing experience that perhaps doesn't feel good at the time, but there's a preparation that takes place during that season to really give you what you need for what's next, and maybe a bigger challenge that now you have some of the tools and the practice to be able to handle that challenge even better. So knowing that we aren't on our own, and that the one who is with us, walking with us arm in arm and hand in hand, not only is he with us, but he's also before us and preparing the way for us. But also this idea of our paths are unique. We are individual. Our life journeys are unique and just for us. And there's a need to trust and to know that our path is going to look different from the next person. It is important to have people in our lives, friends, family, people who love us, who care about us, who can speak advice, who can give wise counsel. That's very, very important. And there are so many times where we really need that outside perspective. We need to have somebody who maybe is seeing a broader picture, be able to share their insight, their wisdom, even if it's wisdom of, hey, I've been through a similar situation, or here's what I've learned throughout my own life journey. All of that is so important, and we absolutely need that. I really hope you have people in your life that you can count on to be able to give you that wise counsel. But sometimes you're going to encounter steps, you're going to encounter aspects of your life that are going to look different than maybe what those people who love you so much are actually able to see for you. And I really feel like what God is emphasizing in this particular message is to trust Him, to trust really the purest and most authentic parts of us and our ability to hear and connect from Him. Because sometimes we're going to be hearing just for ourselves, and it's not going to match up to what other people think is best for us. I have certainly experienced this in my life. I mean, I think the idea of leaving my career, basically my entire career, into an unknown, there's a lot of people that would look at that and say like, probably not the best decision. But I knew it was what was right for me, for my path. It was what God was directing me towards. It was what I felt authentically in myself as being best. Even if that path maybe doesn't make sense to most people, I have a unique path. And more recently, I've had other situations where I'm walking down a path that, honestly, if I was my friend, I would be saying a lot of what my friends are saying of like, are you sure about that? I'm concerned. And it's been hard. It's been hard to trust, but I do trust. I trust my connection with God. I trust my connection with this authentic part of myself. And so when I am faced with decisions that maybe are contrary to what other people might think is best, I've done enough to cultivate this space within me to be able to recognize what is authentic and what is best for me. And being able to go back to some of these words that God has shared with me before that are reminding me to trust the path and trust the uniqueness of it and to trust Him who prepared it for me. It's just incredible to be able to lean on that, and how beautiful that God would know I would come to a point in my life where I need that reminder, and the peace that comes with that of being able to trust and being able to recognize that, yeah, sometimes my path is going to look different. And so I just encourage you, take that wise counsel. He says to listen to it, don't ignore it, but test it. Test it against what God is speaking to you directly. Test it against what you know to be authentically pure and true within you. And yes, there's risk in that. Absolutely, there's risk when we're making decisions that we're the only ones that can see and know and feel that it's right for us. There's risk there. But sometimes when you take that risk, you're going to get the reward that is beyond. When we're called to a unique path, there's a unique hard to it. There's a unique challenge. There's a unique struggle in it. And sometimes God knows that we're able to actually face that challenge, step through that path, because He's prepared the way. And sometimes that preparing the way, I think, is, yes, God goes before us and leaves provision where and when we need it. Maybe that's bringing a friend into our lives that we're going to need in that season. Maybe it's a mentor or whatever it may be. But I think often it's preparing us so that by the time we get to that challenge, we're ready. And so it may be that, you had to go through a hard season in your life previously that allowed you to learn and grow and practice maybe tools and an ability to face certain challenges that were a preparation, so that when you met this next challenge that is unique to you, you have what you need to step through it. I think that's certainly true what I have experienced in my own life. And as we move forward along our unique path, and yes, maybe take those risks and face those unique challenges, we're also going to get the unique beauty of it. There are beautiful aspects, new things that we're going to get to experience because we're willing to maybe face that challenge. We're willing to trust. We're willing to move forward down our path, even if it doesn't look like anyone else's. So I just encourage you, you have a unique path. You have a beautiful path. And even if it doesn't look like what you thought it would look like, even if it doesn't look like what your friends think it should look like, or your parents thought it should look like, whatever it may be, trust you. Trust God speaking to you. And maybe take that risk and know that it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it in the end. So I just encourage you. You have a unique path, and it is beautiful, and it is new, and it is prepared especially for you. Thanks for tuning in to the Sincerely God podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. If you'd like more information, you can go to my website, sincerelygodquotes.com. There you'll find links to my social media, as well as an ability to get your own copy of Sincerely God, a collection of quotes, either the book or the prayer journal. Until next time, keep listening to how God is speaking to you.